I would say that now we are officially streaming.
I think so.
Hello and
Hi.
welcome. I'm Jason here at RoofSnap.
And I'm Katrina. It's nice to have you here today.
Thanks for joining us. We hope that those of you who are with us live will reach out with any questions. We have the little chat window there for you to communicate with us. And what we're going to do today is go over one of the brand new functions that we have in RoofSnap called 90 mode.
Yes.
90 mode is a tool that you use when drawing a roof. And so what I'm going to do is go here. I'm in a project that I've already created with an address here, near Columbus, Ohio. And I'm going to go right to RoofSnap to open up the drawing screen. We've already taken the snap of the image. We used a near map image so that we have a nice clear picture of the roof. This one from Google had a lot of tree coverage here in the front. But let's hop right into it. So the very first part of sketching the roof involves, drawing out the lines. So we have the draw tool down here in the bottom left, and when we tap on that and place one finger on the screen, we get a cursor. Now, up here in the upper left-hand corner is 90 mode, the button to turn it off and on, and it's always going to start in the off mode, which allows us to continue to draw as we always have before in what we now call freestyle mode. But when we turn on 90 mode, we can still draw all the same diagonals. So at first you won't see a difference, but let me show you exactly what 90 mode is going to do. Let me delete this line here. In pan and zoom, I'm going to zoom in and start in this back corner. So with 90 mode turned on, I'm going to tap to start the first line, and I'm going to come down the rake. And what you're seeing here is if I come off of vertical, and then come back to vertical, it'll just kind of snap right to vertical.
Great.
We can see this more profoundly if we increase the tolerance. So let's go up to 20. Now I'm going to draw this line again. Now I have to move my finger quite a bit further away from vertical in order for that line to move off of, perfectly up and down.
Yeah.
All right, so let's draw that line, and then let's turn and draw all the way across the ridge. Now we've come to the end here, and same thing. It wants to be horizontal now. So this is the 90-degree function coming into play. We are at 90 degrees from the last line.
It's nice and straight. That's wonderful.
Yep. Now we snapped this image as straight as we possibly could as well, because if this image were crooked, then 90 mode and its functionality breaks down. So you want to get this image perfectly level before you snap it.
Makes sense.
All right, so here I'm going to tap the screen again, and you notice I haven't picked up my drawing finger the whole time. I've left it on the screen. So as I come up here to the top, see how it jumps right to that spot?
That's great.
It's perfectly level with the starting point of the line all the way over here.
Wonderful.
Yep, and now I've tapped on the screen and I've locked in that line. Now we have a funny little sort of pitch change flat section here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that in real quick, but in order to do so, I'm going to have to decrease my tolerance back down to 5. I don't want it snapping so far away from the line that I'm actually trying to draw. So I'm going to come up that little eve edge, come back down, come across, and that should be good. Now I'm going to draw my little overhang section. So I'm going to come back here and put my point on the line. It's going to snap to that line, but I don't want to connect there. There's a little overhang. So you see it's showing me my measurement up here. All right, so when it hits that line, it's 5.6. And I want to come over, maybe 0.8, something like that, depending on how big the overhangs are, and connect it there. Zoom back out a little ways, back to the draw. Connect, big red circle there lets me know I'm on the point, so I tap the screen to start the line. Perfectly level all the way across. 55.2, let's go up to 56. There we go. Now I'm going to tap and turn down, and it's going to pop right to the point, parallel with this point over here. And it just makes everything symmetrical.
Yeah.
Perpendicular and parallel to each other. It'll allow you to draw out really square, nice-looking roofs without really even having to think about it. We can come down this rake edge here, get to the bottom of that valley, tap on the screen, and I'm going to come up the valley. Using my cursor tail, I'm going to make sure I'm even with that ridge, and then I'm going to come down the valley, and watch, the valleys are going to line up on both sides. And you know what that tells me? That tells me I didn't come far enough down on the left side.
Okay.
That's my bad. So you know what? Let's do it right. Let's undo that line. I use the undo buttons in the upper right-hand corner, and this time I'm going to come down a bit further, lining up my cursor tail with the eave edge on the right side of where I'm working at. Come up the valley again, come back down. Now it's going to pop right to that point.
Great.
There we go. Now let's go ahead and do the bottom section here. So let's start by coming down the ridge. It's perfectly straight. To the end of the ridge, tap on the screen, come across the rake, and it's going to snap right to that point. Come up. Come over here, tap on the screen when you see that large red circle to start the line. There we go.
Wonderful. Kind of forcing you to draw nice and straight.
Yeah,
And
you have to draw it straight. Even if the image isn't as straight as you would want it to be, it's still going to force you to draw straight lines. So if there is any angle to the rakes, you'll notice that sometimes you might actually come out a little past the edge of the ridge just because it's going to line up with your eave at the bottom of that rake.
Gotcha.
And it's just going to grab each point. It's identifying the XY coordinates for each point that you draw. And that's why it lines everything up so straight, as it knows where these sort of invisible XY coordinates are.
Gotcha.
But that's maybe a little more technical than we need to be for right now. Yeah, so what I've done here is I've drawn in a very short period of time a very square roof.
Yeah.
When I go to the facets, of course, we're going to see that all the facets are shaded in. And certainly we have many other tutorial videos about going in and putting in your pitch value and labeling your lines and all of that other stuff. But I just want to encourage you to experiment with 90 mode. Definitely update to the newest version of RoofSnap that we released just last week. We had a few little bugs and performance issues with 90 mode that we cleaned up, and it's performing great now. So test it out and let us know what you think. Leave comments in the video below and let us know if you have any questions or anything that you'd like us to talk about in our next video.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for joining.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.